Morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, Senator Marcos. For this morning's public hearing, we have invited um, the first and foremost from the DOTR, we have USEC Mark Richmond de Leon. We also have the National Chairman of the Philippine Councilors League, Councilor Danilo Dayanghirang. Good morning, sir. From the DPWH, we have Attorney Darius Paduada of the Legal Service. From the Liga ng mga Barangay, represented by Mr. Zifred Ancheta. From the City of Manila City Legal Office, Deputy Chief Legal Officer Attorney Michelle Lapus. And from the DLSU Institute of Governance, Director Ador Torneo. Mr. Chair.
Na traffic siguro. We'll be tackling basically two major items here. The bills concerning the Magna Carta for Barangay and other incentives. Senate Bill 96, filed by Senator Pimentel. Senate Bill 136, filed by Senator Angara. Senate Bill 366, filed by Senator Gatchalian. Senator Bill 391, filed by Senator Go. Senate Bill 892, filed by Senator Revilla. And then another bill filed by Senator Revilla concerning retirement benefits for barangay officials. A bill I filed entitled Barangay Workers Incentive Act. Senate Bill 470 filed by Senator Recto, SSS benefits to barangay officials. And Senate Bill 1031 filed by Senator Marcos concerning salaries and other benefits for barangay officials. And the second item will be the LGU Transportation Act of 2019, which I filed. That's why we invited the OTR here and DPWH. So, for the presentation, we siguro will DBM will be here, no? Baka nandun pa sa kabilang, ano, pwedeng hilahin. Baka nasa DTI, oo.
Ang critical lang.
Sa DBM. So, before we tackle this individually, the chair would like to impress upon the resource persons here that almost all the bills which I mentioned are related. In fact, the Magna Carta bill filed by Senator Pimentel, all the way down to Senate Bill 892 filed by Senator Revilla are almost the same verbatim. Except for the bill filed by Senator Gatchalian, which has a different provision concerning the terms of office as well as the benefits that would be given to the barangay officials. So, halos lahat related ito. So, we'll ask an opening statement from Senator Marcos as to all the related, how many bills? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 bills. 9 related bills concerning the incentives for barangay officials. Senator Marcos?
Yes, thank you very much. As rightly pointed out by our chairman, they're almost identical, except for the different provisions. So, eto nga, ang problema sa local government code natin, under 393, we're well aware that there are certain provisions already endowing the barangay officials with different benefits. However, in reality, they're more honored in the breach than in compliance. As we know, yung GSIS, lagi natin problema. Hanggang ngayon, yung PhilHealth, hindi pa rin ma-impose. Yung COLA, hazard allowance, and other promises for burial, death, and other insurance. Tapos, yung sahod, ang pinopropose kong sahod kasi sana, na at least yung barangay kapitan pareho ng Sangguniang Bayan member, bale salary grade 25. At sa ating Metro Manila area, ay outside Metro Manila, I'm sorry, in Metro Manila, salary grade 25 in outside Metro Manila in the provincial zones, the rural zones, equal to salary grade 24 or kapantay ng municipal Sangguniang Bayan. So, yun. I also put para sa ating mga nag-retire na barangay officials na sila sana may career enhancement Kasi pagkatapos ng kanilang termino at nanilbihan, wala silang mapuntahan at yung microfinancing sana maibigay din sa ating mga barangay officials na nanilbihan. Thank you.
Senator Marcos. So sa bill po ni Senator Marcos, and incidentally, this is a priority legislation. This was mentioned by the President during the last State of the Nation address. So malamang-lamang, mabilis-bilis po ito pag natapos po ito. So nagkakaiba talaga dun sa the amount.
Yes.
Meron pong version na salary grade 12. Ang kay Senator Revilla, salary grade 15 for punong barangay, salary grade 13 for sangguniang barangay, bayan, kagawad, SK, salary grade, treasurer, and secretary, salary grade 11. Meron namang version na 80% for 80% ng sweldo ng sanggunian members, 75% naman para sa SK Chair. At sa version ni Senator Gatchalian, yung iba po ay allowance na lang. Kay Senator Gatchalian is salary grade 12, the same. Pero sa mga ibang members. So, before we proceed, ang pag-uusapan dito, the scope. If this is going to be approved, the scope, the coverage. Are we speaking of just the kapitan, barangay kagawad, treasurer, secretary? Paano na yung lupong tigapamayapa? Paano yung barangay nutrition scholar? Paano yung BHW? And the rest goes, mahaba pa yung listahan nun. Tanod, marami pa yun eh. So, are we limiting ourselves to the kapitan and kagawad, SK Chair, treasurer, and secretary, or papahabain pa na as we go along? So we go on seniority here. We start from the national chairman of the Philippine Councilors League, Councilor Dayang Hirang. You've read all the bills, di ba? No. At ito po, Councilor Dayang Hirang, this has been filed since the 14th Congress. Ang tagal na nito. Ngayon lang ito...
BBM lang kasi ang nag-o-oppose talaga.
Yeah.
Ngayon lang ito nabuhay uli.
Yeah. Well,
You have the floor.
number one po, Senator and Senator Marcos, magandang umaga po. If you look at the landscape of political governance, long overdue po itong concern na ito to the barangay officials. They're working 24 hours. Lahat ng mga nangyayari sa barangay sila. Now, napakaganda po ng batas na ito. But I think ang critical issue dito yung binanggit po ninyo yung scope. At the end of the day, the bottom line here is yung funding. So the DBM is very crucial here considering how many thousands of barangay officials. Napakaganda po ng bill na ito and we are for it po. Yung pera na lang, yun yung aking... Now, yung scope, depende naman doon sa pera. But I think for the meantime, let's go to doable, if I will be asked, maybe from the barangay captain down to the kagawad and maybe partly secretary and the treasurer. Kasi po pag wala ito, this will also give them an elbow room of corruption. Pag walang support, financial support sa mga barangay officials po.
Mr. Chair, hihirit lang ako, no? Kasi napag-usapan doon sa Social Justice Committee, kung saan chairman ako, na yung mga daycare workers na bibigyan ng aumento, talagang kuan lang, yung 4th, 5th, and 6th class municipality lang ang pinapayagan ng DBM. So, medyo isasama ko sana yan na 4th, 5th, and 6th class municipalities lang na barangays ang sasagutin ng DBM. Parang ganon yung stand nila. That's why I was looking for them. Pero syempre, may violent reaction mula sa ating mga barangays. Ba't naman ganon? Sila pa yung malaki, sila pa yung hindi tutulungan. So, sila pa yung hirap, sila pa yung hindi bibigyan ng sahod, ang labo. Ikalawa, dahil nga dun sa stand ng DBM, na 46,000 yata ang sinasabi nila, kaya nila sa 4th, 5th, and 6th class. Yun lang ang sasagutin. Ikalawa, may problema rin kasi ito ang nangyari sa SK. Kapag yung chairman lang ang sasahuran, nagkakaaway-away sa mga kagawad at nagiging unfair. Mabuti kung yung SK chair, share and share alike. Pero kadalasan, siya lang yung may sweldo, lahat ng kagawad niya, lalaban sa kanya kasi naiinggit din at parang sila ang naiisahan. So ito nga yung ating sitwasyon ngayon dahil yung SK ngayon, di ba, yung siya lang ang meron, yung chair. Pero yung mga kagawad, wala.
Senator Marcos, sa bill na final ni Senator Gatchalian, yung funding will come from the LGUs. From the LGUs. Yung sinasabi yung ibang bills naman will come from the General Appropriations Act, from the national government. Yung sinasabi ni ni Senator Marcos ngayon ay yung ang sinabi daw ng DBM in a previous hearing, 4th, 5th, and 6th class municipalities lang ang kaya nilang sagutin. So,
Chairman lang.
chairman lang. Not the for the SK.
Even for the barangays, even for the daycare.
Tawagan? Even daycare hindi kasama.
No, daycare, gusto nila 4th, 5th, and 6th. Basta parating 4th, 5th, and 6th, tig-isa lang.
So that is going to be our dilemma here. Ang lalaki nung ano eh.
Talaga tama si Dan eh.
Any representative from DBM? Wala pa rito, no? What's the position of Liga ng mga Barangay?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, President and Senator Amy. In barangay level po, actually yung pagpalawigin ang bigyan ng mga beneficiaries po, benefits from kapitan, barangay, treasurer secretary, downwards hanggang BHW, mas karapat-dapat sila ng pansin kasi sila talaga mas mga pagod, dahil mga BHW, Tanod, opo.
We acknowledge the presence of Senator Gatchalian. Senator, we're discussing your bill. Kasi yung sweldo pinag-uusapan. Go ahead, Mr. Ancheta.
Yun po, parang mas kailangan bigyan pansin talaga yung mga taong, mas frontliners natin, lalo yung mga volunteers na sweepers natin, naglilinis ng mga creek natin, kalsada. Then second po, dun sa snipe po ni Senator Amy regarding sa mga SK po natin, I agreed na talagang hindi functional po ngayon yung mga SKs, lalo sa mga NCRs. Most of them are 18 years old to 25 years old na kailangan dapat nagtatrabaho ng normal. Pag SK ka, they must attend at least 4 consecutive sessions. Then kami ng mga SK kagawas ay hindi na nakabuo. Marami mga case ngayon sa mga barangays, lalo sa amin sa liga na hindi umaattend, nakakabuo ng core yung mga SKs natin. Then lastly po, sana yung incentives po sana, lalo na sa Lupon tsaka sa Tanod, mas pagtibayin para mas ma-feel at mas magtrabaho ng tama at wasto sa barangayan.
You mean salaries or allowances? Under the Senator Gatchalian's bill, meron silang 2,000 allowance per month para doon sa mga barangay Tanod at Lupon. So, ano ibig sabihin mo ng incentives? Allowance lang?
Your case-to-case basis po, like for example in our barangays in NCR, mostly medyo talagang mataas po yung mga annual, mga annual dues na sweldo. Annual budget po namin, allocations po namin. So definitely kung 2,000,
Magkano ang sweldo ng kapitan sa Barangay Tomana? First
ang
class,
last touch lang po, ang legal po, 25,500 plus po. So nasa salary grade,
So that's salary
11.
grade 13. First step.
yun lang po, sa buo,
25,000.
yun po yung batas susunod namin sa LGC po, sa buong barangayan kapitan po, sa buong
And the
Pilipinas.
barangay kagawads of
Or 19,000, Your Honor.
19,000. SK.
The same thing with the barangay kagawad.
Okay. And then the barangay secretary.
Same thing with the ex-kagawads also po.
So 19,000.
19,000.
Secretary, treasurer, 19,000.
Yes po.
Yung mga barangay Tanod.
Tanods po, upon the availability of the funds, usually po, depende talaga. May mga barangay sa Manila
Subject to availability of
of the
funds.
funds of the per barangay po, Your Honor.
So wala talaga silang monthly natatanggap?
Meron po. Examples namin, tanod namin is 7,000 per month
Oh.
each. Pag pinupara mo na po sa ibang barangay sa may Manila, lumalabas quarterly, sweldo nila nasa 5,000 lang po, quarterly, Your Honor.
Chief of Hepe ng Barangay Tanod, how much?
9,000, Your Honor, on
9,000
our part.
Sa
But in-
barangay mo. We're referring to your barangay. BNS, how much?
BNS, aside from the city na binibigyan nila, may city allocations po sila. Then, the same time, may counterpart po ang barangay. 1,500 lang po. Sa-
1,500 ang BNS.
Yes po.
BHW,
The same thing here po.
1,500 per month.
Opo. From barangay level, plus iba po yung sa city.
Daycare worker.
5,000 po.
So,
Because
mayaman pa yung barangay mo, first class, di ba? So, yung ibang barangay, talagang wala.
Yes po.
Santo
Kung
Niño,
yun yung sasabi
siguro.
po ni Senator, I mean yung mga 4th, 5th, 6th class municipalities.
Wala na talaga natatanggap yon.
Quarterly, usually annually pa nga yun nakukuha nila eh.
So, you're giving this per month, not quarterly.
Per month po.
Oh, so, what you're saying is this. Dahil mayaman yung Marikina, kaya nyo.
Kaya pang tumayo, karamihan po ng mga barangay sa NCR.
And then you provide GSIS,
Ilang po, Senator, ang problema, wala po, we're not mandated or we're not included sa LGC na maging part kami ng GSIS.
Pwede mo naman i-volunteer na ano, di ba
Ayaw.
you can enroll?
Ayaw po ng GSIS. We tried.
Pwede nyo i-enroll. Pati PhilHealth, wala kayong PhilHealth?
PhilHealth po voluntarily po. Upon availability of the fund also.
No, but the individual concerned can voluntarily apply to be a member of PhilHealth or GSIS.
Yes, or the barangay po. Pero yung hanggang sa council lang po, like the kagawads, kapitan, hanggang secretary treasurer. But yung pinakababa po,
Retirement benefits.
wala pa pong,
So ito yung mga
walang
bills,
allocations doon.
ito yung mga bills na naka-file ngayon eh. So we'll let you continue later on. Maybe
Yes.
ask Senator Gatchalian to have his statement.
I just wanted to react lang, no? Inevitably, we need to consider also the Supreme Court decision in the Mandanas case. Kung sana may isatupad yun, wala tayong masyadong sakit ng ulo, pwedeng i-pass on kahit share or buo nitong ibabayad sa mga barangay officials sa local government. But right now, yung mga LGU, wala namang bagong pagkukunan ng pondo. Yun ang problema.
Yung Supreme Court case, pero baka within 2 years may mangyari dyan.
Kahit partial implementation lang, Chair, sana i-recommend natin. Yun lang.
We can do that. We can do that. Just to cover the barangay salaries.
At least, mag-umpisa.
Wala pa
sa
ba ang
kapitan.
DBM? Wala pa ang DBM? Oo. So, the proposal of Senator Marcos is to recommend the partial release of the, anong tawag doon?
Mandanas.
Impounded funds as a result of the Mandanas Supreme Court decision to cover the salaries of barangay officials. Maganda na yon, Senator Gatchalian. Di ba? Billion din yon. Billion din yon. Just for 3 years. Ganon siguro. Oho. That's well taken. That's a very good suggestion. Senator Gatchalian, you have your opening statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you for giving this bill a chance to be heard in this committee. Mr. Chair, my proposal has 4 important components. That's why we called it Magna Carta. The number 1 is the increase in term limits of barangay captains from 3 years to 5 years. Number 2 is reclassification of the barangay chairman, secretary, treasurer as regular employees. I just want to focus, Mr. Chair, to the secretary and treasurer. Actually, itong proposal na ito, nakuha ko po sa Liga ng mga Barangay from Cebu because na ang gusto nila ma-professionalize ang secretary and treasurer, no? Instead of making it as a political appointee, but professionalizing them so that there's continuity regardless of the change in punong barangays. And number 3, provision of benefits to barangay tanods and members of the Lupon Tagapamayapa. And then number 4, the creation of the Barangay Retirement Gratuity Fund for the barangay officials. So ito po yung 4 na components po sa bill ho natin. Let me just again, put emphasis on the regularization of the secretary and treasurer. This is the aim of this is to professionalize the bureaucracy under the barangay organization. And sinama ko na ho rin ho dito yung term limits, no? Kasi to be honest ho, in the last few years ini-extend ho natin to from 3 years to 5 years. So might as well peg it to 5 years, no? This will save the government almost 4 billion pesos every election year for the barangay. And there are mechanisms. In fact, I counted there are 7 ways of removing erring and non-performing barangay captains under various laws. So there are mechanisms to discipline punong barangays who are not performing. So again, Mr. Chair, thank you very much for the opportunity for this bill to be heard in your committee. Thank you.
Gatchalian, I'd like to acknowledge the arrival of Senator Bongo, isa sa mga authors nitong napakaraming bills dito. But I asked Senator Marcos not to leave first because apparently Senator Marcos's committee approved a resolution relative to the postponement of the barangay elections. It's either 2022 or 2023. It apparently will not jibe with the proposal of Senator Gatchalian to have it every 5 years. So, although in effect, if you sum it up, it will be 5 years. But what Senator Gatchalian is saying right now is that we make it permanently 5 years term. So, I'll be asking Senator Marcos if her committee's, the Electoral Reforms Committee's proposal to postpone the elections to 2023 would mean making it permanent and institutionalizing it as one provision there that we hold elections every 5 years as suggested by Senator Gatchalian's Senate Bill 366. Senator Marcos.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. As the chairman rightly pointed out, and I forgot to mention, the committee report is out for the electoral reform and the postponement of barangay and SK elections. As agreed with the COMELEC, per their suggestion, they did not want to conduct 2 elections in 1 year. So if there is a May 2022 national election, ayaw sana nila na October or November yung susunod na eleksyon para sa barangay at sa SK. So, nagtatawaran kami na wag naman masyadong pahabain. Ang sabi nila, masama daw yung weather, yung mga SK wala pa sa pasukan, and so on and so forth. Ang nabagsakan na date na ipopostpone May 2023 para pare-pareho ang term. Precisely the problem that Senator Gatchalian has brought up. Ang sinasabi, ang gagawin natin, unang-una, postpone May 2023. Ikalawa, holdover provision yan. So that also impacts on our federations and our different ligas. Kasi mapapahaba rin yung mga federation heads kapag ganyan. Ikatlo, ang suggestion din, gawin ng permanente. As you're aware, the Local Government Code in Section 43 exempts the barangay officials and does not impose a 3-year term on them. Walang fixed term ang barangay official. Kaya naging bad habit na natin na postpone tayo ng postpone, naka-7 na yata o 8. So, ang sinasabi sana ng COMELEC, itakda na as a third item in the committee report na every year every May after the national election, magkakaroon ng barangay election. Itong last postponement na daw to. Promise daw last na last.
In effect, the proposal of Senator Gatchalian will not be carried because if it's every 1 year after an elections, that will be 4 years because the term of office is 3 years, di ba?
3 years.
So that will be 4 years. So would that mean that we will now be institutionalizing a 4-year term limit for barangay officials, barangay captains?
3 year pa rin. Kasi yung 2023 After, we'll follow the 2022. After that, 2026 yung barangay, after the 2025, and so on and so forth. Para parating 3-year term and may fresh mandate daw ang ating mga mayor at national officials.
Senator Gatchalian, are you amenable to that? Na, ano? Kasi pwede pang ihabol sa committee report ni Senator Aimee yung 5 years.
Mr. Chair, I'll subscribe to the wisdom of the chair. No? The point here is to institutionalize the term limits as to ngayon ho kasi nangyayari, it really depends on the whims of the politicians, no, whether to extend it 1 year, 2 years, even more. Nagiging nagiging depende na kung anong ihip ng hangin, which is not good in terms of creating a culture of planning and culture of longevity in the barangays. Ang nangyayari ho, hindi na sila nagpaplano dahil hindi nila alam kung maiiwan sila o hindi sila maiiwan doon. So, I think to give it more stability, no, let's really institutionalize already a term, no. And my proposal is 5 years, but I'll leave it to the wisdom of the chair kung ano po yung magandang term ho. But in my point lang naman ho, institutionalize ho natin yun.
Senator Gatchalian, that it should be predictable, institutionalized, and for purposes of planning, talagang alam nung kapitan kung hanggang kailan sila. So, although this was not part of the electoral reforms hearing, may we persuade Senator Marcos that perhaps she can have an open mind that institutionalizing the dates would permanently fix whatever defects we have now in our system.
Yes, that's correct. It's contained as the third point in the committee report, and the Committee on Local Government with Chairman Tolentino is the other committee to which it was referred. Ito yung joint referral namin. Dinagdag na talaga yung fixed term. Kasi
Of 4 years.
3 years. 3 years. Kasi yung 1 year after every national election. All the time na. So, kung 2022 yung susunod na national, 2023. Kung 2025 ang susunod na national, 2026 yung barangay at SK. Lagi na lang 3 years ng 3 years, katulad rin ng mayor.
Ang baka maging problema lang dyan, if the Constitution provides for a synchronized holding of elections, baka doon mabutasan. Pero we leave that to the wisdom.
Wala naman yata sa Constitution yung ganon. In fact, pati yung Local Government Code, wala nga tinakda na term para sa barangay. Kaya nga nagiging biktima ng postpone natin lahat.
Yung barangay, lalo yung SK.
Hindi victim yung type nila.
May we ask Senator Bongo for his opening statement, considering that he is the author of Senate Bill 391. Thank you, Mrs. Marcos, Senator Marcos.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning. I would like to thank you for prioritizing our country's basic political unit, the barangay. We all know that the barangay and its officials are the immediate provider of frontline services to our fellow countrymen. Sila ang pinakaunang tinatakbuhan ng ating mga kababayan, ang mga barangay captain sa Davao. Ang tawag ko dyan, alam ni Councilor Dayang Hirang yan, mga suki namin dahil umaga pa lang nandun na sa opisina hanggang sa pag-uwi namin sa gabi nandun sa hagdan. Ihahatid talaga ako, kasama sila sa serbisyo talaga sa ating mga kababayan. Sila nagdadala ng serbisyo sa ating mga kababayan. Alam ko po gaano kaimportante ang ating mga barangay officials. And it is because of this reason we have to further improve the barangays and address the woes of our barangay officials. These reasons, among many others, made me decide to file Senate Bill 391, which provides for the Magna Carta for barangays. The bill outlines the basic priorities in each barangay, such as the right of every barangay to have regular supply of clean, potable water, to have readily available means of public transport, and the entitlement of every barangay to schools, health centers, and barangay halls. Barangay officials are our government's frontliners, first to respond, first to provide, and first to serve. Despite this, they receive a simple honoraria for their service. They deserve much more than that. I refuse to accept that they continue to be shortchanged by the current system. That is why under the bill I filed, barangay officials will now be treated as regular government employees receiving benefits that regular government employees enjoy. Maiangat po natin ang kalagayan ng buhay nila, the pulong barangay, members of the Sangguniang Barangay, the Sangguniang Kabataan Chairperson, the Barangay Secretary, the Barangay Treasurer will now be entitled to salaries, allowances such as hazard pay, representation, and transportation allowance, the 13-month pay, and other benefits. In line with President Duterte's ongoing war against illegal drugs, corruption, and criminality, the bill allows for the appointment of additional barangay tanods by the pulong barangay upon the concurrence of the majority of the Sanggunian Barangay members. This will ensure the maintenance of peace and order in the barangay. Surely the security and safety of our countrymen must be met firstly in their immediate communities. This measure hopes to address that. Mr. Chair, with your permission, I just have a few questions for our resource persons to DILG. Dito ba, DILG? Wala.
Yun, Senator.
Anyways, liga ng barangay na lang, what are the common problems that our barangays are experiencing? What steps are we taking to address these problems po? To ano na lang, National Chairman, hasang-hasa na ito, kabisado to lahat ng basta barangay ang pag-uusapan.
Maraming salamat, Senator Bongo. Totoo yung sinabi ni Senator po na Senator Tolentino and Senator Gatchalian na napakalaki po ng role yun ng barangay. 24 hours po siya. Pag may nagsasaksakan doon, stabbing, barangay captain ang kakatukin. Pag may mga anak, walang sasakyan galing sa bukid, yung barangay captain ang nagdadrive ng mga sasakyan papuntang ospital. With this bill po ay mabibigyan ng justice yung libu-libong barangay official sa baba. Napakaganda po ng batas na ito at for how many years ngayon po lang na-recognize yung effort nila. Sila po yung nasa kalsada araw-araw. Sila po lahat yung nag-i-implement lahat ng program ng government. Pinapatawag ng mga department secretaries to put into action lahat ng mga government program like galing sa Department of Agriculture, Department of Health. At sila po ay pumupunta sa mga bayan, nakasakay ng mga motorsiklo at katakot-takot na kahirapan bago sila natutunugan nare-response yung mga concern ng mga government needs. So, but on the other hand po, dapat tingnan natin yung classification ng mga barangay. For example, may mga barangay po na dito sa Manila, yung mga sa Forge Park, millions po yung budget. So dapat para sa akin dapat less priority sila. Unahin natin yung mga nasa countryside po. So I agree with Senator Bongo at sa lahat ng mga senador na napakaganda ng batas na ito. And yung Supreme Court ruling kay Mandanas, yung proposal ni Senator Marcos, yung partial release po pag doable on the part of the finance upon the direction of the President, napakaganda ding approach yun. Thank you, Senator.
DBM naman po. Galing ako sa San Pablo last week dahil sa inauguration ng Santa Ana Bridge. May lumapit po sa akin doon na SK President, nagtatanong tungkol sa release ng SK funds. Ano na po ang update doon at sa DBM, DILG provided for a joint memorandum order last January 19 regarding the guidelines on the release of SK funds. Na-implement na po ba ito? Ilang barangays na po ang nakapag-release ng pondo sa SK nila? Pangalawa, based on our study and estimates, will we be able to fund the salaries and allowances of barangay officials if the bill is passed into law? How much funding do you think we need? And if hindi natin kaya, anong benepisyo ang pwedeng makuha ng mga opisyal? Yung medyo ano lang, attainable at realistic lang po.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Senator, we would like to state that we interpose no objection on the bill, provided po na yung pong funding ipapasok po natin dun sa IRA, since by 2022 po, especially with the Mandanas case, mas lalaki na po yung IRA collection. So, okay naman po yung DBM dito sa proposed benefits po for the barangay workers. Yun tungkol sa...
Senator Bongo, with your permission. So, ang ibig sabihin sa DBM, pwedeng i-implement itong, kasi kanina, bago kayo dumating, ang pinag-uusapan namin yung coverage. Sino ba
Opo.
yung bibigyan? Barangay captain, barangay kagawad, barangay treasurer, SK chairman, SK treasurer, SK kagawad, nabanggit kanina, allowance yung sa barangay Tanods. So, various bills proposed sa barangay captain, for instance, salary grade 15. Barangay kagawad, salary grade 13. Senator Gatchalian's bill, salary grade 12, salary grade 10, and salary grade 8 down the line. In other bills, 80% of what the current Sangguniang Bayan councilor is receiving will be the amount that will be received by the barangay captain. 75% of what the current Sangguniang Bayan member is receiving will be received by the Sangguniang Kagawad. Ang ibig niyo po bang sabihin ay sa ngayon, kasi lahat ng bills po rito, from the bill filed by Senator Pimentel, Senator Angara, Senator Bongo, Senator Revilla, lahat po ito ay charged sa General Appropriations Act. Sa narinig ko po sa inyo, ang gusto nyo, kunin na rin lang sa IRA ng mga LGU. Eh di mo kan liliit yung, lalong lumiit yung IRA nung LGU kasi we're talking of 42,000 barangay captains, X number of barangay kagawads, treasurer, etc. So, parang sa kanila rin ang galing. Hindi naman, baka naman sabihin ng ibang mga barangay officials, parang mga mayors, parang ginisa lang sa sariling mantika. Ang hinihiling dito, coming from other sources. That's why yung mga bills na pending, I'm glad BIR is here. Merong yung bill ni Senator Bongo, 85% ng excise tax from locally manufactured tobacco products, 15% ng special purpose funds sa Republic Act 7171, 50% sa National Internal Revenue Code, Section 106, 108, 116, etc., ay mapupunta po rito. So, what you're saying is this, kunin na lang uli sa IRA. Parang ganon. So, hindi kaya parang lumabas to na unfunded mandate, kung sa pera din nila ang pagkukunan, DBM?
Based po kasi sa Senate Bill number 77, yun po yung nakalagay since Section 3, source of funds. So the amount necessary to implement this act shall be...
Ito, sinong author?
Senator Bong Revilla, sir.
Senator Revilla.
Yeah.
But there are other bills that I mentioned. Senate Bill 96, Senate Bill 136, Senate Bill yung kay Senator Bongo, Senate Bill 391, Senate Bill 366 kay Senator Gatchalian. Yes,
Mr. Chair.
Senator Gatchalian.
Just to share with the committee our simple computation. Doon po sa proposal natin, yung salary grade, under my proposal po is salary grade 12, 10, 8 to the barangay captain, sangguniang member, and treasurer respectively. And this is subject to the confirmation of BLGF. Ang kakailanganin po per month para po masweldohan ang barangay captain, sangguniang bayan member, treasurer, and secretary is about 9.7 billion pesos. No? Times 12, that will amount to 116 billion pesos per year. Kung dinivide ho natin yan to 42,000 barangays, that will amount to 2.7 million pesos per year para po mabigyan po ng sweldo yung ating mga punong barangay, sangguniang bayan members, and other treasurers and secretary. Again, based on the BLGF data, kung kakailanganin ho natin 2.7 million a year, sa aming computation, subject to again, no, 9.7 billion per month, 116 billion per year, or 2.7 million per barangay. So ang challenge ho dito, sino magpopondo ng 2.7 million per year per barangay? So based on the BLGF data, we computed that 50% of the municipalities can afford to pay 2.7 million per year per barangay. And about 90% of the cities can pay. On the same plane, 50% of the municipalities cannot afford because maliliit po yung mga municipalities, and 10 cities cannot afford. No, these are the small cities. So these are the simple computations that we made so that we will have an idea how much do we need to fund this proposal. So ang challenge yung ngayon, since this is a spending bill, doon po sa mga municipalities and cities na hindi ma-afford ito, who will pay, no? Because the barangays are not created equally. No? Yung mga rich barangays, they'll have a revenue of 300, 400 million. Yung mga poor barangays, balita ko ni 1 milyon, wala pa yata. Yung mga nasa isla, nasa bundok. So, who will now subsidize or who will now pay for those barangays who cannot afford salaries to their officials? So that is a challenge, and it is a challenge for the committee to source that funding. But kung 116 billion po ang kakailanganin, ang estimate ho namin more or less na sa mga 60 billion po ang kulang para mapondohan yung sweldo, no? So that's a challenge to all of us, no? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Senator Gatchalian, I think the points raised by Senator Gatchalian is very realistic, considering if we follow the proposal of DBM na manggaling sa IRA ng LGU, meron nga naman mga isla na barangay na halos wala ng IRA. So wala talagang pagkukunan. But before you arrive, and I'd like to acknowledge first the presence of the representative from Manila, Makati, and the League of Provinces. Bago ka dumating kanina, ang sabi ni Senator Amy Marcos, doon daw sa huling pagmi-meeting naman tungkol sa mga daycare workers, pumayag daw ang DBM na mapondohan yung daycare workers para lang doon sa 4th class, 5th class, at 6th class municipalities. Are you aware of that? So, yun ang sa huling meeting ng ibang committee naman. So, ang sinasabi ko ngayon dito, reconciling that with the Mandanas case, baka po pwede nating, DBM, are you listening? Baka pwede nating gawin to fund the 4th class, 5th class, 6th class municipalities to augment their funds coming from the Mandanas case so that they will be able to pay the salaries of their barangay officials. Doon sa iba, as what you mentioned a while ago and what Senator Gatchalian mentioned a while ago also, and reconciling all of this, ay manggagaling doon sa IRA. Considering na 10 lang ang cities na hindi po pwedeng makapagpasweldo, karamihan ng 4th, 5th, 6th hindi talaga kaya, at 50% ay talagang, yung 50% ay hindi kaya, 90% ng cities kaya. So, reconciling all of this, palagay ko, kung marirelease ng konti yung sa Mandanas, kung po pwede, kung hindi, yun ang problema natin, yung 4th, 5th, and 6th class. Kaya kanina, ang sabi ko, priority bill ito ni Presidente. Binanggit ito sa SONA. Ang problema natin ngayon, una, yung coverage. Sino-sino ba yung dapat bigyan, pasweldohan? Kapitan, kagawad, SK, kagawad, secretary, treasurer. So down the line, baka madaplisan dito ng, gaya ng proposal ni Senator Gatchalian, yung BHW at BNS. Yung barangay Tanods, siguro allowance. So ang pangatlong pinakamahirap na tanong, saan manggagaling ang pondo? So DBM, fourth, yung saan ang galing yung sinabi ni Senator Marcos na payag daw ang DBM sa 4th, 5th, 6th class municipalities dun sa isang hearing para sa daycare workers?
Sir, Senate Good Center, we would like to, on this case, we'd like to clarify our secretary for the 4th and 5th and 6th class, and we'll be providing a position paper since we are only asked to come here to comment on Senate Bill number 77, 470, and 1012. But for the rest of the bills, we will be...
Ano ba yung 470? We're tackling the Magna Carta, Senate
po.
Bill 96, 136, 366, 391, 982. Baka iba yung 77 refers to the retirement benefits for barangay officials. Tama ka doon?
Yes po, sir.
Pero all of this will intersect. Pare-pareho na yan eh.
Opo.
We're speaking of financial support for our barangay officials. So, pare-pareho lang yan.
Yes po.
Senate Bill 77 speaks of retirement benefits, 215 incentives, 470 SSS, 1031 yung kay Senator Marcos salaries. That's the same.
Yes,
They will all add up together. So since you are saying that meron kayong comment doon sa 1031, anong comment nyo doon sa 4th, 5th class, 6th class? That's part of 1031.
Sir, on our part, we cannot commit right now on the 4th and 5th and 6th class, but we will relay this to our good secretary.
Sayang, umalis si Senator Marcos, pero yun yung nire-raise niya kanina.
I think
while-
that was last week po with Yusek Lau,
Okay.
Yusek Lloyd Lau po. But with regard with this one po, we'll first clarify po, and then we'll give a definite
Submit
position
a position
paper po.
paper.
Yes, sir. But we'll take note of that po.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
BIR?
Yes, sir.
Maraming provision sa bill. Nabanggit ko kanina yung kay Senator Go na 85% collection sa excise tax from tobacco products, 15% coming from Republic Act 7171, etc., including those coming from the national taxes, national exploitation and development of national wealth, 60%, 40% from national wealth that will accrue directly to the LGUs. Any comments on this? May pagkukunan eh, oh.
Good morning po, sir.
Oh.
On these provisions po, we will just want to take note po that there are already earmarkings on the existing tax code. So with respect po sa provision on 60% of the national taxes collected from exploitation and development of national wealth, ang existing po natin ngayon under Section 287 po of the NARC is 40% po ang pupunta sa LGUs of the gross collection derived by the national government. And that 40% should be allocated, 25% to province, 45% to component city or municipality, and 35% po sa barangay. So,
You're speaking of the ERA.
yes
I'm
po.
speaking of yung sa bill ni Senator Go.
Yes po, the same po.
Specific provisions like 5% of the 25% franchise taxes.
Yes po.
Di ba?
Yung sa Virginia Tobacco
so my
po.
question is this, will this not be enough to cover the 119 billion mentioned ago by Senator Gatchalian, 116 billion per year to cover the salaries of barangay officials?
We do not have the existing data po on the collection on this po. But that's what I'm saying po because the percentage allocated is already allocated for, it is already earmarked for LGU, so the percentage po will run conflict po with the existing laws.
So that's why we're amending the law.
Yes po.
That's why we're amending the law. The purpose of all of this is to amend existing laws to fund the salaries of barangay
But we do not have the
officials.
data po for the collection on the Virginia Tobacco as of the moment, sir.
So
We
can
will
you
we will
submit
submit
kaya
po.
as soon as possible?
Yes po.
Okay. Senator? Perhaps we can ask the League of Provinces.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. May data po ako on the tobacco tax collection. For 2019, yung gross revenues is 96 billion. So, 40% of that would be 47 billion for LGUs. So kung 20, magkano po yung isi-set aside for barangay? 20, so 25% of that.
Will directly result in how much? Wag na, mahirap mag-compute.
So yun po, basta 47 billion po yung 40% share ng LGU. So
Again, direct to the point of the previous discussions.
Okay.
What is the stand of the League of Provinces if we implement the salary authorization for barangay officials coming from the IRA? Number two, coming from current sources of revenue of provinces, mababawasan yung probinsya kasi mapupunta sa sweldo ng mga barangay officials, mababawasan din yung IRA ng probinsya kasi coming from the IRA. And then there's another proposal here coming from the real estate tax collection of the province. May we know the stand of the League of Provinces?
Sir, yung pong ang ating mga probinsya, kung sa IRA po nila kukunin, una-una po, Mr. Chair, based sa Supreme Court decision, hindi na po IRA ang tawag eh. National Tax Allotment na po. Kasi hindi na po internal revenue, so National Tax Allotment or NATA. Nataas na yung aming matatanggap po. Natagalan lang. Pero dapat natama na. Yun po yung aming posisyon. So, kung kukunin po yun sa NATA na magiging karagdagan po na makukuha ng mga LGU, baka rin po dun sa estimates ni Senator Win, sabi po ninyo ay 116 billion and almost 2.7 million per year per barangay. Sa estimates po namin, Mr. Chairman, yun pong shortfall na for example for kung i-implement po ng 2020, no? Kasi po naglabas na po yung final entry of judgment ng Supreme Court. Sabi po ng Korte Suprema, June 10 po, 2019 is lapse na into finality yung decision.
If I may cut you, I think the Department of Finance filed a petition for injunction.
Po, motion for clarification lang po yun.
Motion
Wala for the OSG po filed a motion for clarification sa Supreme Court dated August 16.
Bago lang.
Apo. Pero naglabas na po ang Supreme Court ng September 2 ng final entry of judgment na nakalagay po doon June 10, 2019 yung implementation po ng decision.
But I heard that there was a new pleading coming from the DOF. Sa
Yun na po yun, Senator.
Wala siyang final?
Wala po.
na
Sabi
bago?
po ni Governor Velasco, yung lumabas po sa Supreme Court is yung entry of final judgment. Yun na po yun, September. Mas latest po yun kesa dun sa final ng OSG na motion. Ang kinaklarify lang naman po ng OSG doon yung tungkol lang po sa special funds. Hindi naman po nila kino-question
So,
na
walang
yung...
nag-file ng motion for reconsideration.
Wala na po. Yung lang, motion for clarification lang po yung final ng...
But that will not
Government.
prevent the Department of Finance from filing a motion for reconsideration. Kasi gaya ng League of Cities, 10 beses ata pabago-bago yung desisyon ng Supreme Court noon. Diba? Alam ni Senator Gatchalian yun.
So, yun na lang po hinihintay namin, Senator. Yung comment, nag-file na po ng comment si Congressman Garcia na to reply dun sa motion ng OSG for clarification.
Congressman Garcia of Bataan?
Yes, Joet Garcia. Siya po ang petitioner pumalit sa tatay niya.
But
Dun
you've
sa
heard the
case.
DBM mention a while ago that 2022 pa raw i-consider yan.
Kausap po namin si Secretary Dominguez last Friday po with the
Okay.
governors.
Okay.
So, pinag-uusapan pa po yun. Kung, they're open to options coming from the governors and the LGUs. Pag-uusapan po namin sa ULAP on September 19 kung ano po yung option na isasalang po
Magkano ba
namin.
yung total, ma'am?
Yung total po ng 2020, Ang IRA po,
Prospective ito,
Opo,
prospective. Oh.
yung Supreme Court decision po kasi, prospective implementation from June 10, 2019.
Yes.
So, ibig sabihin po, umpisa po ng July 1, 2019, maanda na po metro natin sa LGUs, kung tutuusin
So,
po.
how much would it entail?
So, for 2019, from prorated po, July 1 to July 1, 2019 to December, estimate po namin is about 119 billion.
Oh, di pasok nga dito sa sweldo ng barangay.
Pero
116
23% sa lahat na po ito, Senator, yung 119 billion is for provinces, cities, municipalities, and
Tama, yung sinabi
barangay.
ni Senator Gatchalian kanina, 116 billion.
Pero pambarangay lang po yun. Paano po
Pansweldo.
yung sa mga probinsya naman, cities at municipalities? Kasi bali 20% lang po ng 119 yung pupunta sa barangay. Oo.
Hindi, parang ang lumalabas nito, medyo, no offense, medyo na late ka. Kasi ang sinasabi kanina, pwede munang ibawas partially dito sa, we'd like to acknowledge the majority floor leader, the dashing gentleman from Bukidnon. Sir, parang lumalabas sa discussion kanina, nung wala ka pa, sinabi ni Senator Marcos, that we can get a portion of the Mandanas decision funds to finance the salaries of barangay officials. Eksakto yung computation ni Senator Gatchalian, 116 billion. Yung sa'yo naman, 119 billion. O di napasweldo natin yung mga barangays ng isang taon. In the meantime.
6 months po yun, yung July. Yung pong 2020 mas malaki, Senator, around 200.
So anong stand ng governors kaya doon? Papayag sila?
Kasi po, yung huling usapan po ng mga gobernador natin, yung,
Hindi sa akin
hindi pa ho
galing yun,
hindi pa ho kasi namin na-discuss with Governor Velasco as our new president. Pero in previous league assemblies, okay po yan basta merong additional, huwag lang po unfunded mandate. Merong pong pondong karagdagang pondong darating. Kasi may problema din po dyan sa PS Cap. No, may problema rin kami, Senator, sa income classification. Kasi kung sabi po ng DBM na amenable sila sa 4 to 6 class municipalities, kung tutusin po, Mr. Senator, yung income classification po ng Department of Finance ngayon, wala na po siyang saysay. Kasi 2008 pa po yung income ranges noon. Halos 99% po ng probinsya, cities, at mga at 75% po ng municipalities ay first class na. So kung itatama po yan, may bill po sa Senate, ewan ko pa kung nirefile yung bill on income classification. Yung pong 4th, 5th, and 6th, around 17% lang ng municipalities yon sa bagong income range po kung maipapasa yung batas na yon. So, medyo, at ang barangay, wala naman pong income classification ng barangay, but per our estimates, based on their 2017 era, 65% of our barangays, ang income is 1 million to 2.
Classification, the computation of Senator Gatchalian will hold. Diba?
Kung yung dati pa rin pong, hindi na po natin kasi, Senator, ma-apply yung income classification ng 2008 level. Talaga pong kailangan na pong i-update ni Department of Finance yung income classification. That's why we are, the DILG is about to recommend to the Coordinating Committee on Decentralization, or the CCD, has met and will recommend that the department, that President Duterte be authorized to approve the recommendation of the Secretary of Finance to update the income classification of all LGUs. Para po, kasi po yung actually po, may Department of Justice opinion kasi, Senator, and way back pa in
So, but that will
2007.
trigger other administrative acts, like, for example, increasing the salaries again,
Yes
etc.,
po.
diba?
Opo.
So, lalong magsishrink na naman lalong mag-o-over na naman doon sa PS.
Pero two things po, kasi may mga cities o municipalities na pwede na silang mag-classify as second or first class para maitangat nila yung sweldo ng mga tao. Pero classified pa rin sila as third or fourth class. So yun
So ano
po
yung
ang,
hinihintay natin, yung certification ni Presidente or
ang
DLGF?
ire-recommend po ng DILG, and may support po yan ng mga liga, is to authorize the President to issue na an executive order approving the recommendation of the Secretary of Finance to set now the income classification of the LGUs and update the same, because it's 2008 level pa, say 400 million
Medyo
pa po.
naligaw tayo ng
Opo.
konti, pero I'll
Hindi,
ask-
pero but yung pong kasing barangay, yung sweldo din ng barangay will depend upon the income classification of the LGU.
Kasi ganito yan, Sandra, all the bills filed will call for will call for using salary grade 15, 13, 11, the salaries of the current Sangguniang Bayan members per current classification. Now, if you increase it, lalong tataas na naman yung sweldo ng kapitan. Wala nang pagkukunan lalo si DBM, di ba? So, sa halip na salary grade 12 kay Senator Gatchalian, pag tumaas yung level naman ng classification ng mga sweldo, lalong umangat uli yon. Tama ba ako? Baka maging salary grade 15 yon.
Pero kasi po, Senator, bawat class, o kunwari kung first class, 100% of that salary grade. Pag second, 90% something. Pag third, fourth, depende po sa income level din. Merong certain percentage lang of the salary standardization. Yan. So,
But as we speak, the bills, the pending bills would be reflective of the present salary classification rate. Yung
Yes.
sa inyo, plano pa lang yun eh. Okay. Sige. May we ask a statement coming from Senator Zubiri, pero parang ang interest ni Senator Zubiri yung sa tubig eh, potable water.
Maybe I can make a suggestion, Chairman. First of all, I have plenty bills. I have several bills as well on the Magna Carta for barangay officials, and I also have for health workers. I leave it to the decision of the chairman, siguro, in the committee to discuss on how we can consolidate that. Although, I give a bit of advice to our chairperson, it's unsolicited advice. After 17 years as a legislator, I have not seen an amendment truly of the local government code. Napakahirap. Kasi sa daming little amendments on different sections, if you consolidate it, it becomes much more difficult. Maybe you can tackle it on a piecemeal, one measure or one particular topic at a time, as a suggestion, not just as your majority floor leader, but also in my experience of trying to amend this local government code, which also needs amendments. And so I wish the committee luck that we can come up with this, I would say, a consolidated version, probably on the Magna Carta for barangay officials is much needed. I've been pushing for that for quite a long time. As a matter of fact, that has been a campaign promise in every time I run for national elections, is that together with Senator Gatchalian, is that we will try to increase the allowances and benefits of barangay officials. Tuwing nagsasalita kami ni Senator Gatchalian sa harap ng Barangay Liga, nahihiya na nga po kami dahil we try, we file, but one way or another, it doesn't push through. Maybe with the new leadership of Senator Tolentino as the chair of the Committee on Local Government, we may have a fighting chance, knowing that he was once a local government official and is very well versed on the needs of the local government. And ang akin lang siguro, Chairman, on the potable water supply, maganda dito, if I can ask the chair and the committee that we have a separate hearing for this, because this hearing, I think, can do a standalone. We can do a standalone hearing on this without necessarily amending the local government, because our the initiative really stems from the fact that coming from a poor, well, not a poor province, but a very far province with far-flung communities, IPs, Lumads, and barangays in the far-flung areas, we have problems of water potability for our brothers and sisters in these areas, Chairman. So, ang nangyayari, kung hindi po i-allocate ng congressman yan o ng mayor ng patubig dun sa barangay, talagang their water system is laced with schistosomiasis. Their water system has cholera. Their water system is exposed to all sorts of diseases. And we have a lot of infant deaths. We have a lot of deaths of elderly in these barangays due to the fact that they have no potable water. Buti sana kung nasa luwa area yan. Kung nasa poblasyon yan, wala tayong problema. Pero, I know Senator Tolentino, our chairman, also has barangays in like Cavite, which are rural Cavite, which are far-flung and malayo sa luwa. Ito lang po isang mekanismo, no? This will be a mechanism. Maybe we can come up with a commission or we can come up with a stakeholder group headed probably by the ILG, because you're doing it now in your patubig program. It's called Saling Tubig program. And they've been helpful, yung Saling Tubig program sa Bukidnon, there's about maybe 4 or 5 projects na malalaki na Saling Tubig. Pero gusto natin barangay level na ang pagbigay po ng potable water. Maybe we can do a DILG and DPWH, kasi yung nag-ano talaga nito, chairman, is the DPWH. They have a department, not a department, or a division within the DPWH which handles water system development. Kasi yan ang tinutulak na ng mga congressmen, no? When I was a congressman, half my projects were water systems, development of springs, development of yung yung tinatawag natin na parang cisterns and all. So, ito'y pet project ko, Chairman. Maybe I ask the chair and the committee to allow maybe another hearing for this, where we can invite the DPWH, of course the DILG, who's in charge for water, and other stakeholders, maybe LUA also, so that we can get their opinion on the matter, and then we can come up with a technical working group after that, Chairman, that can craft the, I would say, the mechanism on how we can provide potable water to the barangays. Iba po ito, Chairman, sa potable water ni Manny Pacquiao. Si Manny Pacquiao, meron din siyang potable water, pero yun sa kanya, I think it is the regulation of bottled water. Iba yun, kasi bottled water sa mga mayayaman, it's to regulate to make sure that there's no, I would say, fly-by-night bottled water companies and sell contaminated water to our people. Ito po ay potable water para sa masa ito, para sa mahihirap ito, Chairman. I think this is needed in many barangays outside of Metro Manila and Mega Manila, and all the barangays outside of the key poblations and city centers. Malaking matutuwa po sa atin sa Senado if we spearhead this measure. So yun lang po ang request ko, Chairman. Baka we can have another hearing, particularly on the Potable Water Act, Potable Water Supply Act natin. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Majority Floor Leader. We'd like to acknowledge the arrival of Senator Bato, who was supposed to provide me the quorum, and Senator Revilla. They arrived, na-traffic talaga. The point raised by the good Senator Zubiri is well taken, but the reason why we tackle the potable water here is because Senator Bongo, Senate Bill 391, under Section 7 thereof, provides for drinking water for every barangay. So sabi ko, pagsamahin na ito, but we take the good advice of the Majority Floor Leader. Yes, we'll have another separate hearing here. But I'd like to ask the representatives coming from DPWH. Since 1989, the Congress passed Republic Act 6716, providing for the construction of water wells, rainwater collectors, development of springs, and rehabilitation of existing water wells in all barangays. Ang point agency po rito is DPWH. So kagaya po nung tinatanong ni Senator Zubiri, since 1989, where are we now? Marami pa rin nagkakasakit sa tiyan ng mga bata, marami pa rin nag-iigib. 9.5 million households ay walang tubig sa Pilipinas, walang gripo. Nag-iigib pa rin sa balon yung iba. So, yun siguro ang gusto malaman ni Senator Zubiri, and probably you will answer that you will just submit a position paper. Pero ang gusto namin malaman, ang tagal na nitong batas na ito, 6716, providing for water wells in all barangays, whether it's level 2, level 1, level 3 of LUA. Ano na nangyari dito, sir?
Good morning po, Mr. Chair, Honorable Senators. Yung sa ano po kasi, nabanggit nga po ni Senator Subiri, may division po sa DPWH on water, yung hydrology division po namin. At saka po yung flood control in a way po kasama. So ongoing naman po yung yung coordination tsaka mga activities po as to the construction of water systems, yung mga rain catching infrastructure sa mga schools. Ongoing po yun, Mr. Chair. Pero yung as to the potability ng water, hindi po part ng mandate ng DPWH. Tungkol sa construction naman po ng mga in every barangay, yun nga po, tulad na nasabi nyo, Chair, Mr. Chair, titingnan lang po namin yung our records and submit a official position po.
Chairman, yung problema kasi, meron nga silang division, pero hindi siya priority. If I noticed, priority lang siya kung yung congressman, let's call a spade, no? Kung yung congressman dun sa district ay popondo, kasi naging congressman din ako 9 years. So, kung yung congressman ay popondo ng programa para sa potable water, let's say, level 1, 2, and 3. Yung water system, di ba, level 1, attorney. Yung level 1 ay ang gagawin nila ang source. Ayusin nila yung source. Level 2, ayusin nila yung source, maglalagay sila ng pipe sa mga barangay, di ba? Tapos yung barangay may faucet communal, that's level 2. Level 3, pasok na lahat sa bahay doon sa community. May faucets na sila at may metro sa bahay. They come up with a barangay, parang barangay water system nila eh. Parang luwa, pero sa barangay level. Now, ang problema dyan, ang pondo. Wala talaga nakaalat na pondo dyan. Ang gusto ko po sana, Chairman, under our measure, merong allocation ang DPWH dyan. A certain percentage of their budget will be allocated to the construction of potable water supply in the barangays. Yan sana mangyayari. Kasi kung hindi natin babanggitin yan, well, there is already an existing law, but maybe we have to review that existing law. Baka parang GCTA yan eh, di ba? Medyo mali na naman yung interpretation yan. Parang hindi na na-implement. So, we have to review probably that existing law. Yun lang, Chairman, if we can come up with a mechanism to make maybe that original law work, make it implementable. Because really, in all honesty, as you said, 9.5 children, no? 9.5 households, sorry. 9.5 households are without water. Ang dami naming tubig ang Pilipinas. Today, ang dami naming ulan, naglakas ng tubig. Baha nga dun sa labas ng garden namin, baha. So, walang problema ang tubig sa Pilipinas. Ang problema natin is how to catch it, how to utilize it, and how to preserve the water during the lean months. Other countries are doing it. Imagine, sa desert nga lang ng Nevada, Your Honor, the famous Hoover Dam. How they can possibly water Las Vegas and all other areas around Nevada with the Hoover Dam where it's a desert. If they can do it in countries like that, well, that's an outdated 1940s technology, I think. We should be able to do that. Ang ating problema, panay runoff. Pag ulan, baha, labas. Nagiging silted mud and everything. Hindi natin alam paano gamitin. That's a larger scale. That's another problem for the DPWH. But ang akin lang is potable water per barangay. Sana matulungan niyo po ako dyan, Chairman. Thank you.
Siguro, DPWH, when you submit your position paper, submit also a position paper on how you complied with Republic Act 6716. We'll schedule another hearing solely for this.
Yeah, thank you po, Mr. Chair.
Sino kanina? League of Provinces, ang tanong sa inyo, no problem sa mga gobernador, di ba?
As long as po merong additional funds na papasok, kasi baka hindi po kakayanin. Pwede din naman pong combination. Like, yung mga 50% of the cities na kaya at 50% ng municipalities po na kaya and 90% of the cities na kaya pong ibigay yung karagdagang allowance. The rest po na hindi kakayanin, baka po merong counterpart from the national government, Mr. Senator.
DBM, nasagot mo na yun, ano? Na yung 4th, 5th class? Di
Yes,
ba?
Mr. Chair, but may we also request to be put on record that upon clarification with Yusek Lau regarding the funding for the barangay health workers for 4th, 5th, and 6th class municipalities, he did not commit anything, but rather he would look onto it and find a reasonable measure on how to solve this problem. So
Walang
maybe,
commitment.
yes sir, but maybe kindly suggest maybe we can possibly talk about it on a separate TWG. So our technicals will come here so that they can somehow suggest something about the matter. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, thank you. Maybe hear from Senator Revilla kasi siya, isa sa mga author dito eh. Yung retirement for barangay officials, Magna Carta for barangay officials. Ang pinag-usapan namin, Senator, kanina, yung pagkukunan ng pondo. Ang gusto ng DBM, sa era din ng LGU kunin. Although we have yet to ask the ILG as to the stand of BLGF and the other agencies. So, Senator, yung sa inyo po, compared to the version of Senator Gatchalian, salary grade 15, mas malaki. Yung kapitan, 30,000. Kagawad is salary grade 30 and 25,000. Kay Senator Gatchalian, 22,000 lang yung kapitan. Any word, Senator Revilla?
Yes, Senator
And we'd
Tolentino.
like to greet you. Happy birthday in advance.
Thank you, thank you, thank
Ngayon,
you.
ngayon o bukas?
Hindi pa, 25 pa.
Malapit na.
25 pa.
Salary grade
Matagal pa.
25 na.
But anyway, Mr. Chair, ang layunin naman natin dito kung paano tayo makakatulong sa barangay, no? Kung ano yung mapag-usapan natin at kung ano talaga yung available funds na po pwedeng makatulong sa kanila, yun ang pagdiinan natin, no? Pagtulong-tulungan para maipasa itong panukalang ito, Mr. Chair. Well, I have a few questions here, Mr. Chair, regarding the proposed Magna Carta for Barangay to make the barangay officials workers, regular employees of the government. What are the advantages and disadvantages of this proposal? I don't know kung naitanong ito kanina. Kung sino man yung po pwedeng sumagot sa ating mga resource persons. Dayang Hirang. Yes, Konsyal.
Ito yung
What are the advantages and disadvantages of this proposal?
well, number one po yung, if you look at it, talagang nasa front line yung mga barangay official. And ngayon lang po nabigyan ng justice yung mga frontliner natin. Araw-araw sila nasa field.
Correct.
At napakaganda po ng batas ito, and these 42,000 mandated local officials are looking for it. I think the critical here is how do we allocate funds vis-a-vis with the present era and the incoming funds coming from the Supreme Court ruling. But at the end of the day po, napakaganda ng batas na ito, Senator.
That's right. Sa ating councilor, no? Ang importante talaga, Mr. Chair, yung source of funds, no? Kung saan natin kukunin. Nandito po ba ang DBM so that we can ask them? Baka meron silang idea. So, kung saan natin po pwedeng kunin yung pondo.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Based po dun sa Senate Bill number 77, which you filed po, sir, the source of fund would be on ERA. So we have no further objections on the matter po, sir.
Would that mean you have no objections concerning the 4th, 5th, 6th class that you mentioned a while ago?
That I have to clarify again, Mr. Senator. I'm so sorry about it.
So, may objections ka pa rin?
We'll have to discuss
Sabihin
it po with
mo,
our...
Yun
What
talag-
is the salary grade acceptable? O yun ang tanong natin. Number one, no? Barangay officials and workers. Ano ba gagawin?
Maybe we'll submit po simulation na lang po on the sensitivity analysis po of what the salary grade would be the best for this law. Since in terms of if we base your bill, sir, it will cost about 53 billion annually for 42,045 barangays. 53 billion annually.
Billion
Yes.
annually
Yes.
ang madadagdag, no?
Yes.
For the benefits.
For the benefits.
For the benefits.
For
Lumaki, no? Ano yung binabanggit nila kanina, Mr.
The
Chair?
records coming from Senator Gatchalian is 116 billion. Sa'yo, 53 billion.
yes, sir.
Bakit magkaiba? Kalahati.
Yes po, kasi punong barangays have 50,000, then the Sangguniang members only have 30,000, and the barangay workers have 20,000.
Yan, kasi kay Senator Gatchalian, 22,000 lang. Ang barangay Kagawad, 19,000 a month. Tapos yung sa inyo, mas malaki, mas maliit naman yung total per year.
Sige po. We'll recheck na lang din po. But that's from the initial computation po.
Mr. Chair, let me just qualify. No, I failed to mention that I also included the 2,000 allowance per barangay tanod and 2,000 allowance per lupon tagapamayapa. So that will come out at least mga 2.5 billion per month. No? So that will about siguro nasa around ano yan, nasa around 16 billion per year, more or less, no. So babawasan yung 116 by 16, so 100 billion pa rin, no. Kung salary lang nung kapitan, sanggunian, treasurer and secretary. Baka sa inyo is kapitan and sanggunian lang, no. But Mr. Chair, in addition to that, no, because we have a lot of computations and numbers flying around, may I suggest to task DILG to compute accurately how much do we really need in order to finance the salaries of kapitan, salary of sanggunian, salaries of treasurers, secretaries, including the various allowances that were mentioned in the various bills. And a certification from BLGF as to how many LGUs, how many barangays are earning or collecting X amount as the revenue, no? So that we will have full information kung ano pa ang capacities ng ating LGUs at ng ating barangays, because we need to determine first the capacities, no? And based on our simple mathematics, 50% of the municipalities can afford, 50% cannot. 90% of the cities can afford, 10% cannot. But these are based on our information gathered from the internet, no? The BLGF will have much accurate information, and it will give us a very good view on the capacities and also how much do we need to finance all of these proposals.
Yes, Mr. Chair. On the average, magkano po ba nakukuha ng barangay chairman ang ating members ng sangguniang barangay? Barangay secretary, barangay treasurer, lupo ng tagapamayapa members, barangay health workers, barangay daycare workers. Meron po ba kayong ano? Yes, Yusek Echeverry.
With your permission, Mr. Chair. If an ordinary barangay which has a population of only 1,000, yun naman yung regular number, no?
Okay.
Ang budget ho niyan maliit lang rin po. So kung ang honorarium, hindi ho sweldo, honorarium ng barangay kapitan, normally ang dinidesisyonan nila hindi nila kinukuha kada buwan kasi nga sobrang liit.
That's right.
So kung quarterly nila kukunin or every 3 months, at the most ang kapitan makakakuha lang ng 7,000 to 13,000 ang average. Ang kagawad ho minus 2,000 lang yan sa kapitan. That goes along with the secretary and treasurer. Kaparehas na ho yan ang sweldo na honorarium ng isang kagawad. So kung sa 1,000 na population, kasi they always base their income from the IRA shares, at konti lang naman rin sa RPT, ganun lang rin po ang nakukuha. Kung monthly mo kukunin yun, may mga 3,000 ka lang ang honorarium mo bilang isang kapitan. Hindi naman ho masyado tumataas yun eh. Now, if you make it 5,000 inhabitants per barangay as per provided for by law, medyo tataas ng konti. Medyo tataas po ng konti na aabutin ng more or less 20,000 kada buwan na ho yan kung kakayanin ho na ganun ang computation. But the reality is, not all barangays, majority of the barangays, are not equally the same in terms of population. Yun ho yung yun ang pinoproblema po namin. A good example is the City of Manila. City of Manila, kada barangay ho dyan is 1,000 lang, 2,000. Hindi umaabot yan ng 3 to 4 to 5,000. They have actually 849 barangays compared to Caloocan and Quezon City, which are 200, 188, Valenzuela is less than. Ang sinasabi ko po dito, hindi equal yung numero. And that differs. That is an issue. Pag hindi sumunod sa batas na 5,000 inhabitants, talagang maliit ang makukuha, hindi rin nakukuha yung honorarium na sapat.
Na sapat, lalo na kung konti yung population nila.
Yes, kung maliit, wala rin naman halos rin nagagawa.
I understand. So talagang doon sa ibang mga, yung malaking barangay, okay sila.
I'm
They
talking
can
about-
survive. Oh, they can survive.
Yes, I'm
Yung
talking
mga
about,
maliliit.
yes sir, I'm talking only of highly urbanized cities. Hindi pa ho natin pinag-uusapan yung fourth-class municipalities and third-class municipalities na kung ang population nila 1,000 lang rin, talagang mahina. Dahil ang madalas na pagkukuhanan lang talaga nila is IRA share. Yung RPT share, minsan depende pa yun kung ibibigay ng city mayor sa kanila.
Maybe ask from one of the proponents, si Senator Gatchalian, mas kabisado rin niya. Ang purpose ba natin sa Magna Carta, i-uniform lahat regardless of population, based on population, based on income? Kasi merong kahit yung sinabi ni Yusek Echeverry, kahit merong isang maliit na barangay sa probinsya, host naman ng isang mining community. Ang laki ng income noon. So, ano ba, i-uniform ba natin o magkakaroon pa rin ng sub-classifications? I think yung sa mga ibang bills kasi, Senator Bongo, parang uniform. Kay Senator Revilla, ganun din. May salary grade. So, ano sir yung ano?
Chair, I was going to go into that, no, to make it equitable, no. I think in my proposal, we will mandate the LG to come up with classifications, no, because for example, yung pinakamalaking barangay na sa city po ni Yusek Echeverry, Bagong Silang, which has 200, diba? 250,000 ang population. That's one congressional district already. Or one province, no? Sabi ni Senator Bato. But yung pinakamaliit, siguro we have less than 1,000 inhabitants. So, in the spirit of equity, hindi naman ho pwedeng pareho yung sweldo ng kapitan ng Bagong Silang at kapitan ng 1,000 ng inhabitants. So, in order to address that, we will mandate the ILG now to come up with classifications, no, for barangays. So, may class 1, class 2, much like what we are doing with the municipalities as well as the city, so that we will have now salaries for different barangays of different classification.
Thank you, Mayor. With your permission again, Mr. Chair. If you will notice, sir, buti wala si Yusek Dino dito. The Secretary did not include the Magna Carta for barangays in the legislative agenda of the DILG.
No, but this was pronounced by the President
Yes, sir.
during the
Yes, sir.
SONA.
Yes, sir. And for good reasons, much as we want to accommodate it, sir, because the concern of the department, sir, is that the existing benefits of the barangay at this point in time has not yet been fully implemented. Much as we are happy that there are so many bills that has been passed, that has been proposed for further benefits, but the concern really of the department is how to first implement all the benefits of the barangay under Section 393. Particularly, yeah, yes, well, yes, sir. That's why moving forward, and thinking of this, may we invite you to check on Section 393, Paragraph 3. Sir, it goes to show on the insurance of the barangay. Yung insurance ng barangay is not limited only to temporary, permanent, or death, But what is clearly stated there is that there's no specific funding agency to do that. Whereas in Section 393 paragraph, the last paragraph, sir, the TANOD insurance will be taken from the barangay, city, or municipality. This goes in the heart of the problem, sir. The insurance of the barangays at this point in time are not being given, and yet the local governments are still asking, where do we get the funds? Do we get it from our city, municipality, or should it be taken from the national government? Because this has been an issue with the leagues of barangay ever since, that at this point in time, it has not yet been fully implemented. It was attempted during the time of President Ramos, but it was eventually cut for reasons that it was not, the remittances for GSISS was not given. Yun po yung concern ho rin ng mga barangays. They welcome all the benefits, but can we first fully implement the Section 393 for which the law has been given?
That's why thank you. That's why the proposed bills are now mandating the compulsory registration of the barangay officials, of the GSIS, PhilHealth, and other agencies concerned. So, ngayon, siguro wala nang dahilan para maging voluntary lang yung compliance. So, ito yung purpose nung various Magna Carta bills filed from Senator Pimentel to Senator Revilla na gawin ng mandatory lahat ito. So, any administrative delay coming from the DILG, siguro hindi na problema ng Senado 'yon. Kung bakit hindi nyo na-comply yun dati, di ba? It's an admission that you failed to implement the various laws, the various mandates given to you by law.
Mr. Chair, anyway, you should know better. I mean, galing siya sa barangay, naging kapitan ka eh. So alam mo yung needs ng mga kapitan. You used to be the president ng mga liga ng mga barangay. So you know kung ano ang mga pangangailangan ng mga kapwa mo kapitan nung araw, di ba, Yusek? Well, we can classify siguro, Mr. Chair, if the funding will come from the LGU funds, but if the funds will come from the GAA, is there a need for classification? No? May I get the comments of our resource persons on this? Siguro. Yes. Mr. Chair, with your permission.
Mr. Chairman, Senator Tolentino. Sir. I think I would like to, 2 points. I would like to suggest we go with the gradual implementation of the law. We pass the law because it's really necessary and beneficial on the part of the barangay officials. On the part of funding, let's go first on the doable. Maybe by trans, 50% of what is mandated by law on the first year, second year, depending on the availability of the funds.
So, unahin muna yung 4th, 5th class, 6, gano'n?
Maybe that could be considered by the technical group and the committee. But the point here is, whether we like it or not, I think we really need to pass this, and any available funds, available for the purpose, let's release it based on the capacity of yung pera. The pangalawa, yung classification, maybe we can also incorporate on that scheme either fourth and third class, and or for the meantime, later on na yung mga first class cities and municipalities kasi may mga pera naman sila doon. So I think it's only a matter on how you come up a concept where there will be equitable implementation of the law. But all of this would be depending on the funding. So to come up a win-win solution, we pass this, you go with the gradual implementation, first, second, and third year. That is my suggestion.
As well as the DILG?
We will work with, as far as the Councilors League is concerned, we are here just to advocate and support it. But on the matter of technical preparation, I would prepare to leave it to the finance and the
Siguro sa
DBM.
DILG, ano yung coverage? Kapitan, kagawad, hanggang saan ba? BHW, abot ba tayo ron?
Opo, kaya nga, lahat po,
Ang
Senator.
dami na nun kasi may mga ibang, meron tayong lupong taga-pamayapa. Meron tayong, minsan meron pa tayong yung senior citizens.
Opo.
'Di ba? So, hanggang saan tayo?
Yeah, yun nga po sanang personally, dapat pag-aralan na mabuti ng technical group yung doability as far as the capability to pay.
May sports officer pa yung iba eh.
Yeah. Suggestion lang po,
Yusek,
napakaganda ng batas na po ito.
Yusek.
In our last hearing, Senator, with Senator Angara, we already discussed this. Ang suggestion po yata, sir, if yung mga may kakayanan na local governments, walang problema eh. NCR alone can cover all the benefits. Kaya lang, ang tanong, are they allowed to allocate funds from their funds to provide for such benefits, if ever? Yes. If the local governments will be allowed, walang problema for NCR and for highly urbanized cities ng League of Cities. Ang poproblemahin po natin yung League of Municipalities na kung saan may mga third and fourth class municipality. Kapag ganun ho ba hindi kaya ng isang munisipyo, pwede ba magpondo ang gobernador, ang probinsya to provide for such funds? Or will the GAA provide doon sa mga fourth class municipalities and third class na hindi kakayanin ng mga local governments? Doon lang ho tayo magkakatalog, because if the funds is enough for highly urbanized cities, wala tayong poproblemahin. Kahit ano ilagay nyo dyan, kaya pondohan, provided you will authorize them to use their funds. But for the fourth class municipalities, doon ho tayo magkakaproblema. We will give you the real figures on how many are they, na kung hindi kakayanin, baka pondohan na lang ng GAA, if ever. Kumbaga, band-aid solution, Senator, ibigay natin muna sa mga may kakayanan pondohan yung kanilang barangay. Yung mga hindi talaga kaya, then probably that's where the national support can come in. Pero for those who are capable, sige, pondohan ninyo. Pero kailangan maging malinaw na pwede ang mayor maglaan ng pondo.
Sure, it will be part of the law. Kaya kanina yung discussions, DBM, yung 4th, 5th, 6th class na sinabi nung isang committee, which you are recanting apparently. Tapos League of Provinces, yung portion naman ng Mandanas decision. All of this, pag pinagsama-sama mo, kaya eh. Kaya nga sinasabi ni Senator Villa, matagal na itong hinihingi. 14th Congress pa. It's just a matter of classifying. Pero sa classification siguro, as what was intimated by Ms. Sandra, may bagong classification na naman daw lalabas. Kaya yun yung sinasabi ko, baka magkaiba-iba na naman tong classification natin. LPP?
Mr. Chairman, yung increase naman po sa classification, amount lang, but the number of municipalities na 4 to 6, more or less, ganun pa rin
4 to
po.
6 pa rin sila.
Opo.
Hindi lalo tumaas lang yung sweldo.
Hindi naman po sweldo yung tinaas, yung income range po nung municipality, nung LGU. Yun po yung i-update lang po. Kasi sa ngayon, ang first class sa 2008 level, 450 million. Billion na po ang income ng mga probinsya o city and municipality. So, hindi na po siya tugma. 99% actually, Senator.
2008 pa.
Oo, 2,000. Yun lang pong range yung i-increase, pero hindi po yung sa sweldo. Tapos po, ito po yung statistics namin, demographics. Yung pong 1 million to 2 million, there are 27,411 barangays or 65%. Yung ganyan po, yung IRA lang po yan, wala pa po yung local revenues niya dyan. 85 lang pong barangays ang below 1 million. So, kukonti lang yon. So, all in all, kung 65% at sabihin na natin 1 million, yung average IRA po ng barangay, so ang PS cap nila is 55%. At 55%, it's 550,000. So, divided by 13 months, kasama yung buong Christmas in 13th month. So, average of 42,000 per month. Yan po ang budget ng barangay na 1 million.
Kaya pa.
So, kung depende, kung ilang number ang pinapasweldo nila sa barangay, kung 7, average of 6,000 yung allowance o honorarium na nabibigay nila. So, bakit po hindi na lang tayo mag-set ng minimum wage o minimum honorarium? Kasi po yung ibang kaya namang magbigay ng mas malaki.
That's why we're asking DILG to submit a classification system. And you submit your position paper as well.
Yes, sir.
Senator Gatchalian.
Mr. Chair, we're talking about spending side. No, this is we're allocating money to give salary, so this is part of our expenditure. But on the revenue side, sa DILG, ilan ang barangays na matatawag nating ERA dependent, meaning 90% of their revenue comes from ERA.
Serious, 90%.
90% are ERA dependent
Yes,
barangays,
yes.
no? Baka more pa nga tingin ko.
Yes, that's why they based, kaya nga ako malaking bagay if the population is big. Because they could, more or less cover all the expenses. But if the RPT of the highly urbanized, mas malaki ang income na makukuha. Ang problema kasi sa probinsya, nakarely lang sa ERA. Ang probinsya hindi naman mataas ang RPT rin ng mga yan. So nakabase lang rin ho sa ERA. Kaya nga po, ang gusto rin po linawin, moving forward, Senator, gusto ho namin linawin, kanino bang funding age, kanino ba kukunin yung kaninong ahensya kukunin yung pagpopondo sa kanila? Most especially on other benefits as well. Yun ang medyo silent yung batas. That's why I was referring, on the insurance, will it be taken from the local government? Kasi the law is really silent as to whether it would be taken from the GAA or will it be taken from the local government? Kasi kung local government, in Caloocan alone, pinondohan na namin yung mga insurance sa barangay, pero chinek rin ho kami ng COA, by the way. Pinabalik sa amin yung pondo ng insurance kasi nothing says in the law that we have to provide funds for them.
Kung kinunan nyo siguro private na GSIS.
Well, no. Aside from that, actually iba pa yung issue na yon, Senator. And that's another issue which actually we use yung private ren. Yung GSIS kasi on the other hand, parang they are adamant of accepting. That's why we need to seek your investigation on that, Senator, that GSIS at this point, not willing at all. Not willing. We actually had a dialogue with them, and they were still saying, you have to pay yung mga hindi nyo nabayaran in the past, na kung saan hindi talaga maaring magpatuloy ang GSA. Sabi namin, kayo lang ang nakalagay sa batas na kayo dapat mag-provide. Hindi kami pwede kumuha sa private institution. So how do we go about this? And the benefits of the barangay is very clear. Nakalagay na kailangan kayo.
Siguro pag merong bagong batas, simula.
Yes, sir. And hopefully, let the local government fund it if that is so. Because the law is silent as to who should provide for the funds.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair,
Okay.
just to, yeah. Dahil kung, when you say ERA dependent, then that's real estate based, no?
No, population-based.
Population-based. And most of their revenues from the barangay are also connected
Income tax.
to the real estate.
RPT share.
The RPT share, which
Yes.
is real estate based, no?
Yes.
My point is, Mr. Chair, gusto rin natin malaman how many LGUs have already revised their level of assessment, because there's also a big debate now that a lot of our LGUs are not revising their real estate assessment, meaning they can actually generate more, and when they generate more, the barangays also get a share from that, no? So my point is, moving forward, Mr. Chair, is we also need to see kung sino ba ang mga LGUs na hindi nagre-revise nung kanilang assessment levels. In effect, if they don't revise, yung income ng barangays hindi rin tumataas. And moving forward, we also need to see all of these statistics, no? Yung sinabi kanina ni Sandra. Because if the threshold, based on our computation, ang kailangan natin ay 2.7 million per year, no? Per barangay on the salary lang. And Sandra is saying 65% already earns below 2 million.
Wala na.
So meaning we need to subsidize 65% of our barangays right away, no? I mean, these are very quick mathematics lang, ano? So just imagine that, because ang target threshold natin is 2.7 million pesos per year, no? But para lang ma-fund itong mga salary proposals natin. So we need to look at all those so that we will make educated proposals, adjust some of the proposals here also, and we will know exactly how much do we need and target that. Because ako, kung pwedeng siguro, let's say, no, ito lang naisip ko, kung sinabi natin lahat ng LGU, i-update nyo yung level of assessment nyo, tataas rin yung income ng barangay eh. Baka yung 65% bababa rin yun. No? So these are the things that we need to look at also.
With your permission, Mr. Chair, the thing is, the ERA share is automatically given, but not the RPT shares. So it's always at the option, again, of the mayor whether they would eventually give it or probably delay it. But isa pong, my point is, if there would be a law that, you know, RPT and ERA shares would be automatically be given to the barangays, then we could really,
Yan sa mga proposed
there's
bills,
a proposal.
automatic release of the RPT
then we
share.
could properly make that computation properly, because hindi pa natin pwedeng isama yon because it's at the option of the mayor. Probably what he wants to do, unahin muna yung mga nakalinyang proyekto sa kanya bago yung barangay.
Siguro
The
what Senator Gatchalian is saying, gustong tulungan ng mga barangay, pero ipakita rin ng mga barangay yung revenue generating acumen nila. Na kumikita ba sila? Gagaya sa Barangay Bagong Silang, 4 yung palengke ng isang barangay, 4 yung market master. We acknowledge your good governance in terms of market collection. Pero yung ibang barangay na naghihintay lang, dapat magpakitang gilas din. Pero sino yung tutulong sa kanila? DILG. Dapat i-capacitate nyo yung mga barangays na dito pwede kayong kumita rito, dito pwede kayong kumita. Dapat yun din ang maunawaan nila na tinutulungan sila, pero kailangan mag-source din sila ng sariling revenue. Tama po ba yun?
Yes, sir.
So is the DILG doing this? Na yung mga training natin, kasi ang training natin, nakikita ko to pag nakatapos ang isang eleksyon, magkakaroon ng training si DILG. Regional, provincial, and so on and so forth. Ang training natin, paano magtrabaho ang kapitan. Ano ang trabaho ni kapitan? Dito nakalista yung trabaho. Ano ang trabaho ng kagawad? Pag-attend ng sesyon, ano yung mga dapat gawin? Anong trabaho ng barangay secretary, barangay treasurer? Wala pa ako nakitang training, no offense to DILG, para turuan ng isang barangay papaano kayo kikita. Hindi lang doon sa tupada, hindi lang doon sa sabungan. Paano kayo kikita para sa barangay ninyo? Hindi lang pag merong basketball summer league, magsusulisit. Paano magkakaroon ng sustainable income ang isang barangay? Yun ang hindi ko pa nakikita ang programa ng DILG na tumatahi sa TESDA, tumatahi sa go-negosyo ng DTI. Para na sa ganon, sayang itong pagkakataong ito, katatapos lang ng eleksyon. Para na sa ganon, si Kapitan magkaroon ng kapasidad na magkaroon ng sariling talipapa, sariling toda, sariling income na nila bukod doon sa RPT share. Di po ba? So yun po siguro ang sa training module ninyo, kaya inimbita natin dito ang De La Salle University Institute of Governance, para magkaroon din kayo ng concern dapat siguro may barangay entrepreneur officer. Di ba? Kahit walang sweldo. Ito, pwede tayong kumita rito. Meron tayo dito ang sapa, pwede nating gawing mineral water, di ba? Meron ba tayong ganung programa, Yusek?
Actually, meron po for DILG, even with the liga ng barangay. Kaya lang yun nga po, ang kailangan baguhin yung attitude ng barangay na parati lang nakasaalalay sa anong makukuha sa ERA o RPT share. It should be an attitude that, you have to be entrepreneurial, and at the same time, asking them to be more capacity driven in terms of finding necessary funds. But if we pass the law on RPT automatically to be given, sir, I think mas lalong maengganyo yung mga barangays to ensure that all these businesses will thrive, and at the same time on their end come up with their own business that would eventually earn for themselves and the barangays as well, kasi mas tataas yung income. But ang kailangan rin natin tingnan rin, Mr. Senator, is how do we, on our end, hirap rin kami talaga ikumbinse na yung clustering ng barangay should be properly observed. Na for example, a good example in Manila, I managed to talk to one of the congressmen. Sabi ko, sir, pinoproblema namin road clearing, ang dami nyo kasing barangay halls. Bakit hindi kayo mag-merge? Ang issue nila ang hirap sa politika. Ang hirap sa politika mag-merge. Pero, sir, Quezon City, Manila, Caloocan, parehos lang yan. Pero kayo 800, ang Quezon City 140, Caloocan is 188. All I'm saying is, the issue is really to merge the barangays in accordance to what the law is providing for, which is 5,000 inhabitants, which they are not observing. But of course, this is more of the implementing side of the executive or executive part, sir. But these are also concerns that we need to address because if barangays will not observe the actual numbers, babalik alin tayo dun sa issue na kulang ang pondo nila to spend for themselves and provide for all the benefits that they need to provide for, including the barangay tanods. Kasi ang nakalagay sa batas, ang magbibigay ng insurance sa mga barangay tanod are the barangays. Kung hindi kaya ng barangay, sa city or municipality.
Ibang barangay, naka-uniforme na ng mall yung yung mga barangay tanod. Doon nagtatraffic sa tapat ng mga malls. So, baka may
Extra income na
Senator Revilla is
Sumasideline
recognized.
na. Well, tama yung sinasabi ni Mr. Chair. Siguro dapat i-maximize yung training. Dapat ituro natin talaga sa barangay kung ano ba yung, para ma-maximize nila yung powers nila. Yung legislative, executive, and judiciary. Sila lang yung may power na gano'n Di ba? Kasi marami diyang kapitan, hindi nila alam kung paano gamitin yung powers na yan. So siguro dapat doon pa rin kayo sa basic na yun para malaman nila kung ano yung gagawin talaga nila sa barangay. I think we should go back there. Doon pa rin nandiin ninyo ang pukpok. Minsan siguro yung mga pagka may liga ng mga barangay na puro ang iniisip na lang nila, magbabakasyon tayo. So hindi dapat ganoon ang pananaw ng mga sa liga, di ba? Hindi man sa tinitira natin sila, no? Mahal natin yung mga yan. Pero dapat, let's be honest about it. Kailangan doon ang tutok natin. So, siguro more on information drive. Tapos I want to go back doon sa Mandanas Law. Ano magiging impact niyan sa local government at paano yan mapapakinabangan ng ating mga barangay? At siguro dito sa mga measures na sinusulong namin dito, eventually, baka mapakinabangan din yun. Yes, Yusek.
Malaking bagay po kasi the allotment will be bigger. But again, we will always rely on, because the barangay always follows the mayor in terms of how it should be given. And again, for one, to be direct, sir, it will benefit the barangay. And we're hoping that it would be implemented soon.
Good.
Upon suggestion of Senator Gatchalian, we'll set another hearing for all of these related bills. SBN 96 filed by Senator Pimentel, Magna Carta, SBN 136 filed by Senator Angara, Magna Carta, SBN 366 filed by Senator Gatchalian, also Magna Carta, Senator Gos, SBN 391, Magna Carta, Senator Villas 892, SBN 892, also Magna Carta, and the other related bills filed by Senator Revilla, Senate Bill 77, Retirement Benefits, my good self filed Barangay Workers Incentive Act, Senator Recto filed SSS Benefits for barangay officials, Senator Marcos under SBN 1031 filed bill concerning salaries and benefits, plus we have several bills as manifested by Senator Zubiri, which are also related, the Support for Barangay Workers Act, Senate Bill 101, Senate Bill 103, which is contained in Senator Go's bill, Potable Water Supply System, as filed by Senator Zubiri. And then we have Senator Binay, who filed Senate Bill 112, regularizing of punong barangay, SB members, etc. And we have Senate Bill 233, creating Barangay Peace and Order Councils, filed by Senator De La Rosa. Senate Bill 252, granting additional benefits for barangay chairman, filed by Senator Lacson, together with a bill, Senate Bill 253, upgrading benefits of barangay tanod members, filed by Senator Lacson. Retirement benefits for barangay officials who have served for 9 years or 3 terms, filed by Senator Zubiri. I think Senator Revilla also filed a similar bill. Standardizing salaries of barangay officials, filed by Senator Lapid. And then another potable water supply system, filed by Senator Binay. Potable water supply in every barangay, filed by Senator Pacquiao. All of these are related. So we'll set another meeting for this. And we expect the position paper of League of Provinces prior to the meeting, the position paper of DILG, DBM, DPWH related to the 1988 law, Water Act of 1998, as well as BIR concerning the sources of revenue. We expect a position paper likewise from Liga ng mga Barangay. So we go to the other part of this agenda, which is Senate Bill, ano bang Senate Bill number ito? 1012, which I filed. It's the LGU Transportation Act of 2019. That's why we asked the presence of USEC De Leon and DPWH. Ano po ito? Sa ngayon po, kaya nandito ang Manila, pinadala ni Mayor Isko, nandito ang Makati, from kay Mayor Binay, andito rin ang De La Salle School of Governance, andito si Senator Gatchalian. Ang isang munisipyo, ang isang lungsod, kung gustong magpatayo ng railways sa kanyang lugar, sa Tagaytay kami, pag gusto kong magpatayo ng railway doon sa may overlooking side, abutin ho kami ng 6 na taon, 10 taon, hindi pa namin napapagawa yan. Ang dami ng mga memorandum of agreement yan. Ang alam ko, ang Cebu gusto magkaroon ng monorail, ang Makati gusto magkaroon ng subway, ang Quezon City gusto magkaroon ng monorail, ang Manila gusto magkaroon ng monorail from Roas Boulevard to Intramuros. Pondo ng local government units. Bakit hindi matuloy? Kasi napakaraming balakid sa national government processes. Pupunta ka ng NEDA ICC, NEDA approval. By the time matapos lahat yan, retired na yung mayor. Tapos na yung 3 terms, yung pabalik-balik na investor, nagsawa na, bumalik na uli sa Japan, bumalik na uli sa Amerika. Hindi na matuloy-tuloy yan. Nakapagpatayo kami sa Tagaytay ng cable car, pero private yun, nasa loob ng golf course. Napakarami hong gustong magpatayo ng ganong sistema para makabawas sa traffic, gastos ng LGU, gastos ng City Hall, walang pakialam ang national government. Bakit hahadlangan ng national government? Di naman nila pera. Kaya final ko po itong Senate, yung Senate Bill, ano number ulit? 1012, ay para po matulungan yung ating mga LGUs. Davao can do that. Cagayan de Oro can do that. Na wala munang pakialam yung national government, but ililink po doon sa kung merong transportation plan ng national government, maglilink sa Lagindingan Airport, okay po yun. Kung maglilink yung Makati, maglilink sa BGC, okay po yun. Ang Taguig, gusto rin gumawa ng sariling monorail from Taguig going to Guadalupe. Naka-elevate doon sa Pasig River. Hindi po matuloy-tuloy yan kasi dadaan ng mga ICC, kung ano-anong, hindi na maintindihan ho yun. Tapos na ang term ni Mayor, hindi pa nakaka-first base. So this proposed legislation will ensure that the LGUs, by having that power, can go ahead, proceed, and at the same time, alleviate traffic. Hindi lang naman trabaho ng DOTR yan. So, Senator Gatchalian, Senator Villa, thank you for your presence here. My proposal is to amend Section 17 of the Local Government Code by adding the following provision, and I quote, to empower the LGU to provide safe, affordable, accessible, sustainable mass public transport systems such as modern rail-based systems, personal rapid transit systems, monorails, railways, subways, cable cars, trams, bus rapid transit systems, and other means of sustainable transportation system consistent with a livable and sustainable smart cities through loans, grants, capital investments, partnerships, joint ventures with both private and public institutions, whether international or domestic, without sovereign guarantee for the conceptualization, establishment, operation, maintenance of modern state-of-the-art mass transportation system, provided that interconnectivity and integration with existing and proposed national intermodal transport system shall be considered. Alam po ni Senator Gatchalian yung kahalagahan nito, sa kanila magsisimula yung subway, sa kanila yung depot. Alam din po ito ni Senator Revilla, sa kanila po mag-e-end yung LRT 1 extension. Ang pagkakaiba lang po, lahat ng nabanggit kong proyekto ng national government. Kung kailan matatapos, hindi natin alam. Yung sa amin sa Cavite, sa LRT1, no offense, Yusek De Leon, ay 6 na beses nang nag-groundbreaking. So ngayon, matutuloy na raw. 1995 pa, na tuwing kampanya, yun ang sinasabi namin malapit na tayo magkaroon. Ang dami na namin napapanalong board member doon. Yun ang aming pangkampanya. So ngayon matutuloy na. Kaya itong bill pong ito, para yun namang mga LGUs na ang trumabaho. Kung kaya nilang magpatakbo ng, kaya nilang pumasok sa isang agreement na magkaroon ng train system sa kanila, mas maganda. Ang Tokyo Metropolitan Government ang nagpapatakbo ng subway sa Tokyo. Ang New York Transit Authority ang nagpapatakbo ng subway sa New York. Ba't hindi natin magawa sa Pilipinas? So, Senator Gatchalian, that's the reason why we invited the city of Manila and the city of Makati. So may we hear from Attorney Michelle Lapus, ano yung status no yung proyekto ni Mayor Isko sa Maynila, kung meron?
Yes, sir. Good morning, Senator Tolentino, Senator Gatchalian, Senator Bong Revilla. I am very happy to announce that the City Government of Manila just concluded our Executive and Legislative Agenda Seminar. It's a 2-day workshop facilitated by the DILG. And in those 2 days, we were able to substantially and exhaustively tackle the executive priorities as well as the legislative priorities of the City of Manila. And we have launched the 6-point agenda for the City of Manila. And it's very catchy. It's Ascenso Manileño. A stands for amelioration, S stands for stability, E stands for ecosystem, N stands for nobility, S smart, and O order. So this bill, this proposal, sir, falls on all of these agendas, sir. So amelioration, because basically it's the provision of basic services, transportation, stability, to push for local economy competitiveness and transportation in particular.
You have a plan to have as I mentioned, to have a monorail within the City of Manila?
Actually, sir, currently, as you asked me, sir, to call Dr. Cesar Chavez a while ago, currently, sir, there are 2 unsolicited proposals. First, for the Rojas Boulevard transport system, and second, for the Tondo Santa Cruz transport system as well, sir. Unfortunately, we cannot, at this point, make a presentation of these projects and proposals because they are still in the preliminary stages, sir.
These are rail-based.
Yes, sir.
Rail-based,
Yes, sir.
proposed by the
Yes, sir.
private sector.
Yes, sir. So it is under our JV ordinance, sir, that we can accept unsolicited proposals. Although, sir, at this point, it's still very preliminary because
We
we
understand
have to evaluate.
confidentiality.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So unfortunately,
But you acknowledge the presence, the existence of proposals to have a modern mass transport system within the City of Manila.
yes, sir. Yes.
Within the next 2 years, 3 years.
Yes, sir, definitely, sir. But first,
Maunahan nyo pa ang DOTR.
we hope, sir, if we implement the 6-point agenda of the city, and if we plan very well, which is the bottom line of our ELA, is that first we need to review, revisit, and update all the plans. Specifically, sir, for this, it's the Transportation Management Plan of the city, which is one of the mandated plans to be submitted to the national government, sir, the DILG in particular, because we need to integrate this plan so that it could be comprehensive with the integrated area community safety plan as well as
But it
public
should be
order plan.
compatible with the existing LRT lines.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Specifically, yes, sir. As well as the national.
Walang gastos dito ang national government.
Yes, sir. It's gonna be a JV, sir, a joint
Thank you.
venture.
Thank you. And it will, yes, Senator Gatchalian.
Mr. Chair, first of all, I support the proposal of the good chairman to add in the responsibility of the local government units, transportation and the creation of mass transportation and the management and conceptualization of other mass transportation systems. Totoo yun, Chairman, na yung mga highly urbanized cities, like here in Metro Manila, we can actually do intercity mass transportation systems. Cities as big as Quezon City, no? They don't need to link up with other cities to do intercity mass transportation systems dahil malaki na ho sila. I think their population there is about 3 million, no? Valenzuela, Caloocan, no, which has a population of 1.5 million, I think 1.8 can do their intercity. Ang nagiging balakit ho talaga is really the bureaucracy, the paperwork, and also collaborating with national agencies such as NEDA. That really takes so much time, no? And with our 3-year political cycle, tama ho kayo, pag the time na na-approve ho na yun, eleksyon na naman. Eh kung natalo ho yung mayor, wala na ho yung plano, no? So this will actually empower the local government units to come up with innovative ways in order to solve traffic and to create mass transportation systems in their own locality. As an amendment, Mr. Chair, in the future, we should also empower local government units to cluster themselves, no? Like for example, kami sa Kamanava, if you combine Kamanava, we will have approximately a population there about 3 million, eh. No? Valenzuela 600, even more pa, no? Even more pa. So Kamanava itself can have its own mass transportation system circulating within our jurisdictions. And we don't need to go to NEDA or to other kasi matagal ho talaga, no? Kung nag-usap-usap po yung 4 na mayor at mayroon ng investor, no, through PPP, we should launch it as fast as we can, no, so that we will service our constituent as fast as we can. So I support this bill, Mr. Chair.
Senator Gatchalian, alam ni Senator yon kasi tama yung intercity lang kasi hindi naman kailangan lumayo ka ng malalayong lugar, makipagsiksikan ka sa EDSA, and then perhaps Manila can connect with Navotas o Kamanaba na uli yun. Di ba? Baka mawala na yung DOTR. Can we ask the representative from Makati? Any plans coming from Makati?
Makati has already finalized its PPP project for a subway. So the ground...
The subway will traverse Buendia to Ayala?
It will be, the concept is 10 stations. It's a 10-kilometer subway system with 10 stations. It will start, the original plan was really from Ayala Avenue all the way to the fire station, South Avenue all the way to the JP Rizal area, and then JP Rizal all the way to the City Hall, to EDSA, to Loton in UMAC area, BGC area, all the way to the Hospital of Makati in the 2nd District of Makati. So
you sign agreements concerning
Yes.
this, and this will proceed, and this will not entail any single centavo coming from the national government.
yes, no contribution from the
ano pa
national
yung
government.
hahanapin natin dito? Ang kailangan lang nila legislative authorization, di ba? So that's why I'm passionately pushing for this bill because it will empower other areas, Cebu, Davao, na ngayon kung gagawin natin sa national government, ang tagal nito. Di ba?
That's true, Your Honor.
So, you're now finished with the feasibility study.
The feasibility study had been done. Actually, Your Honor, just to clarify, this has taken 2 administrations. So from the first term of Mayor Abby in 2016 to 2019, the PPP project was submitted, but it was only during the 2nd term, 2019, when it was finalized. When everything was
May I
finalized.
know if there is no confidentiality here, the proponent here, what nationality?
Um,
Nationality lang. French,
Chinese, Your Honor.
Chinese, oh.
Yes, Your Honor.
So when do you expect to start?
We will be starting by December, and
This
we
year?
intend, yes, Your Honor.
Oh, this year na. Di ba? Naghihiring pa ang DOTR ito. Ano na? Tapos na.
We have
This year.
been...
And when will you
for-
finish?
2025, Your Honor.
2025. Subway
Yes, Your Honor, subway.
for Makati, managed by the city of Makati.
Through a joint venture, yes, Your
Joint
Honor.
venture. Di ba? Ang ganda. Any word comment from the DOTR family?
Yes, Mr. Chair. we are one with the Senate and the local government units to really empower these local government units to build their own mass transportation systems within their cities. Unfortunately, yung DOTR lang talaga, ang focus niyan is yung trunk line, yung mga backbone between cities. So wala tayong mga dinidevelop now na mass transportation cities only within cities kasi nga ang naging focus ng DOTR is yung mga main backbone transit systems natin. Now, having said that, Mr. Chair, if we go outside of Metro Manila, ang main issue naman ngayon ng DOTR is yung basically yung institution. Unlike DPWH and other government agencies, DILG, Department of Tourism, Department of Health, all of these agencies has regional offices. Yung DOTR, walang regional office yan. Oh, wala.
Regional offices?
Wala. Central ang ating ano. We only have agencies, line agencies na meron.
But that can serve as your regional agency. You have CAAP, you have airports in several regions,
Yes,
di ba?
but in terms of other sectors, yung ating rail is very centralized here in the central office and including
Metro Manila, ang rails nyo lang, Caloocan,
Yeah.
going to Santa Mesa, di ba?
So what I mean is planning. For example, if a local government unit outside of Metro Manila proposes a project to the NEDA there in their RDC, walang representative ang DOTR dyan. So a good point that I'm raising is if we can also legislate talagang magkaroon ng expansion itong DOTR, let's provide more capability to the Department of Transportation talagang para ma-serve natin yung regional development all across the Philippines, Mr. Chair. Yan ang isa pang takeaway with this law that the Senate is proposing.
Are you supporting or are you against the empowerment of LGUs to have highly urbanized cities lang
Yes.
to have their own mass transit systems funded by them, managed by them?
Definitely, Mr. Chair, we are supporting that move as long as these projects are consistent with the national transport policies, the standards, number one, and the regulations that are already there. Like, for example, if the one city proposes a rail system, for example, dapat at least yung standards na gagamitin yan or specifications at least are consistent with the national. Kasi ang problema natin, if that city has another system, like let's say narrow gauge for example, lahat ng national standard gauge na. Ang problema mo dan is lack of capacity. Baka mawalan ng manpower complement yan later on kapag mawala na yung mga tao. Whereas kapag consistent siya with the standard specifications na ginagamit ng national, madaling mag-complement yung parehas na system.
Senator Gatchalian?
Just want to ask the representative of Makati, saan yung pinaka-bottleneck when you launch this project from your experience? This is a locally initiated project. I would assume this went up to NEDA, no, for their approval because this is a PPP project. But from your experience, saan yung pinaka-bottleneck for launching a locally initiated transportation project?
Your Honor, just to clarify, we did not proceed to NEDA for this project. Given our study that this is a local project, everything will be inside Makati territory, so we did not see any legal impediment in going up to, on pursuing it on our own and proceeding to NEDA.
Ano yung threshold if it's 500 million and above?
This is a PPP, so we believe that it would be falling outside such limitations.
So it will fall outside of that threshold.
Yes, yeah, that's our will be our stand.
But
and
no,
our
but
stand as
NEDA
of
never
tomorrow.
flagged you that this is
None, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Really streamline, to really remove the hindrances, legal or otherwise. That's the reason why we're pushing for this bill.
If I may, Your Honor, we agree with the good senator. We believe that such a provision is needed because there is actually a gray area in the local government code with regard to the mass transport system. So we looked at the local government code as it is written, and we saw that gray area. So we decided to pursue it, and for enough. We have the resources, and the people would want really to establish a metro, a subway inside the Makati, so we went for it. But such a provision would be better so that it will integrate everything.
Thank you, Attorney. Siguro what will happen is that we will have another setting for this. We'll have another hearing, and we expect you, together with Manila, to submit at least a visual of what we expect in terms of a modern state-of-the-art transport system in Makati and Manila. So we'll have another session, and then submit your position papers as well as your presentation in advance to this committee. For the last
We
word,
will,
may we
Your Honor.
ask Dr. Ador Torneo, Director of the De La Salle Institute of Governance. Sir, what's your take on this, involving the local government units insofar as the resolution of traffic, the current traffic crisis is concerned, sir?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Actually, we are in principle very supportive of this provision, because at least it clarifies the gray area in the local government code and actually allows local governments who has the capacity to come up with more localized solutions. No, I would also like to support the suggestion earlier of Yusek Echeverry, for as long as it's consistent with national standards and national.
Yusek De Leon.
Yusek De Leon. Okay, and Yusek De Leon, that for as long as it's consistent with national standards, national transport policy, because this also has to be considered. Kasi for example, if one local government may have one system, we have to imagine, kasi many of transport concerns can span beyond the borders, no? And it can allow the national government and other local governments to come up with complementary and compatible projects if ever they do so. So we support this.
So we'll have another setting for this, and probably clarify also the gray areas relative to the classification, the amount of remuneration, the number of barangays 50% below the threshold to be provided by the ILG. And perhaps the Secretariat can invite in advance, have the position papers of BLGF and the position paper of Secretary Wendell concerning 4th, 5th, 6th class do sa barangay, sa Magna Carta for barangay.
Mr.
Yusek?
Chair, with your permission, it's the Department of Finance, BLGF,
yes. They're inviting now.
who has the data. The DILG doesn't have any data as to the...
No, but you were referring to the number of barangays,
as to
the
the
RPT,
population.
yes.
As to the population we have.
And your proposed classifications as requested by Senator Gatchalian.
Yung point tinatanong ko kanina.
You promised a classification
Medyo nalilito po ako sa...
for the barangays. So, tuloy mo lang yan, coming from the DILG side. So, we'll have another hearing concerning this, and next hearing we'll invite Quezon City and Taguig as well, and we'll invite that too. So, for purposes of this committee hearing, this hearing is suspended.